According to retailers, the most popular Halloween mask this year is O.J. Simpson. And the most popular Halloween greeting is, "I'll kill you and that guy who's bringing over your glasses," or treat.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today, we're counting down our picks for the sketches and weekend update segments where the shade wasn't subtle. It was the point.
Okay, now let me wave something shiny in front of you monkeys. I'll get back to you.
Number 20, the White POTUS.
I mean, it's like I have all these crazy ideas, you know. I have this syringe full of active measles virus, and I just want to stab somebody with it, you know? And I've been having these insane ideas, like what if we took all the fluoride out of the drinking water? But what would that do to people's teeth?
Fluoride? What's that?
A glossy send-up of HBO's pitch-dark satire that swaps the resort's toxic vacationers for a Trump-era inner circle. The White POTUS looks, sounds, and moves like prestige TV, then twists the knife with cattiness and casual cruelty. The shade lands on politics, yes, but also on the celebrity caricature. SNL cast member Sarah Sherman's impression of Amy Lou Wood's Season 3 character drew heat for exaggerated teeth and a cartoonish accent.
She now says SNL has reached out to her with a mea culpa. "I've had apologies from SNL."
Wood called the piece mean and unfunny, later saying speaking out felt like breaking a personal pattern of tolerating bullying. Sherman apologized privately and publicly. The sketch punch isn't subtle. It's beautiful people doing ugly things and enjoying it.
Oh, look, a monkey.
I'm gonna go kill it and eat it.
No, not the monkey.
Number 19. Kristen Wiig defends Lana Del Rey and blasts her haters.
Based on the public's response, I must have instead clubbed a baby seal while singing the Taliban national anthem.
That's true, Lana. There was a surprisingly big backlash.
Wiig's breathy defense of Lana Del Rey, delivered right after the singer's shaky live SNL moment, is a masterclass in backhanded reassurance. The bit skewers two targets at once: Lana's deliberately detached persona and the media's sanctimony. Wiig floats through apologies and self-mythologizing, tossing faux supportive lines that double as body blows.
Some said I was, quote, the worst musical guest in SNL history.
Well, that is just not true, Lana.
No, Seth. These critics are absolutely right. The music stage on Saturday Night Live is hallowed ground, and I failed to reach the high bar set by past guests like Bubba Sparks, the Baha Men, and Shaggy.
The comedy is in the tonal dissonance, a porcelain-fragile character calmly cataloging every criticism while calling out the ridiculousness of it all. The segment also shades the internet's pile-on culture, the way a rough performance becomes a referendum on authenticity. It isn't rage, it's frostbite, quiet, delicate, and numbingly cold.
I think people thought I was stiff, distant, and weird. But there's a perfectly good explanation for that.
What's that?
I am stiff, distant, and weird.
Okay, yeah.
It's my thing. I stand still and sing sad songs like this.
Number 18. Complicit.
Every man knows her name. Every woman knows her face. When she walks into a room, all eyes are on her. She's Ivanka. And a woman like her deserves a fragrance all her own.
Scarlett Johansson's sleek turn as Ivanka is a masterclass in the art of the understatement. The parody ad looks exactly like a luxury spot. Creamy lighting, slow-motion filmmaking, hushed VO, then drops a single word like a verdict. Complicit. It's shade by aesthetic. The gag isn't that Ivanka is outwardly cruel. It's that she's stylish while doing nothing.
She's complicit. She's a woman who knows what she wants and knows what she's doing. Complicit. She doesn't crave the spotlight, but we see her.
The punchline is the brand strategy itself. Silence. But make it beautiful. The sketch lands because it turns a political critique into a consumer insight. You don't see the attack coming until the bottle hits the screen. And by then, the indictment of passivity in the face of authoritarianism is complete.
She's loyal, devoted, but probably should have bounced after the whole Access Hollywood bus thing. Oh well. Also, I bet when she watches Titanic, she thinks she's Rose. Sorry, girl, you're Billy Zane. Complicit. The fragrance for the woman who could stop all this, but won't.
Number 17. The Californians.
Hey, honey. I brought us some tangerines. This guy was selling them on the off-ramp over by the 2. Devin?
The show's long-running skewering of LA narcissism finds its cruelest edge here. Even a cancer reveal can't break the character's obsession with hair, hallways, and highway routes. The shade isn't at illness. It's at people for whom nothing, not intimacy, not grief, can interrupt mirror gazing.
You have cancer.
Are you serious?
Yeah, man. Don't even worry, because they're a good treatment center in Marina Del Rey. There's lots of street parking, and if not, there's a coffee bean across the street that fully validates. I live right by there, that's how I know.
All the way on the other side of the 10?
The laughter feels guilty, which is why it sticks. The sketch deglamorizes soap opera melodrama by replacing emotion with freeway directions, exposing a social world where performance has replaced empathy. When tragedy arrives and everyone still asks, "Which way did you take?" the joke crystallizes. Vanity is a force field, and it's suffocating.
What are you doing here? This is supposed to be at the Chino Correctional Center in Southern California.
Well, I escaped. I ran down an on-ramp and hauled ass across the 5, and then I hitched a ride on the back of a taco truck down to where, like, the 101 meets the 10, you know? And I told the driver, "Hey, hang a right on Alhambra and drop me off on Sunset."
Number 16. Dateline NBC.
Sarah Halliman's boyfriend was into drugs and getting mixed up with some gangbangers. But one night, he just didn't come home.
Bill Hader's Keith Morrison isn't a hatchet job. It's a smile with a knife behind it. The grin, the sing-song cadence, the savoring of grisly details. SNL shades true crime TV for treating horror like cozy, vicarious bedtime stories. The craft is in the impression itself. Stretched, purring, delighted. The sketch isn't accusing Morrison of malice. It's accusing the format of fetish.
And when I came to, my leg was gone.
Oh. Did you find it?
No, it had been eaten.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry. Are you smiling?
No. I'm horrified.
By turning a dismemberment case into a warm bath of TV ticks, the bit drags an entire genre for pretending to be empathetic while chasing goosebumps. It's ruthlessly specific, drawing on Hader and his colleagues' genuine admiration for Morrison, and that's why it felt like the age-old institution of television had been put on notice.
She had murdered our neighbors. Do you get some sort of strange delight in all this?
I do.
Number 15. Justin Bieber for Calvin Klein.
This tattoo made me say owie.
Master impressionist Kate McKinnon's take on the ubiquitous Canadian pop sensation is the essence of a thirst trap distilled into a smirk. The parody obliterates a carefully engineered rebrand. Black and white swagger, micro tattoos, and underwear waistband peacocking. The camera loves him. The sketch, however, does not.
I'm not supposed to drink, but I do.
The shade targets both Bieber and the ad industry's belief that grown-up equals brooding face plus fog machine. McKinnon plays the pout as an unshakable habit and the seduction as a tantrum, revealing the insecurity inside the posturing. It's a surgical PR deflation that also ribs Calvin Klein himself. If your campaign can be undone by a raised eyebrow and a tummy poke, it probably wasn't that deep to begin with. Number 14. Matthew McConaughey for Lincoln.
Sometimes you gotta go back to actually move forward. And I don't mean go back and reminisce or chase ghosts. I mean take a big step back. Like go from winning an Oscar to doing a car commercial.
Host and superstar comedian Jim Carrey doesn't mock the spacey Oscar winner's obvious talent. He drowns the Lincoln spot in pseudo-zen vagueness. Whispery philosophy about destiny and leather steering wheels becomes painful self-parody. Inspired by a real-life series of ads McConaughey did for the iconic car brand, the shade hits the luxury ad ecosystem too. Glossy images, non-sequitur wisdom, and brand mystique masquerading as profundity.
I feel safe in here to drive around all night long, contemplating the important questions of life. Who am I? Why am I here? When I'm done rolling up this booger, should I eat it or throw it out the window? Feels good.
Carrey's impression locks onto the musicality of McConaughey's drawl, then pushes it into absurdity. The kicker is that the sketch didn't need to exaggerate much to get laughs. That's the meanest compliment. The original work was already teetering on the edge.
Dad, are you okay?
I'm super good, bud.
You're going 5 miles an hour.
Not bad for a Lincoln. Whose kids are these?
Number 13. Jeanine Pirro gets suspended from Fox News.
I'm Judge Janine Pirro, and I just want to thank the brave sponsors who stuck with me despite the accusations by the radical loony left. To companies like Jeep, I say thank you. And to Mitsubishi, I say domo arigato, Cobra Kai.
The outspoken judge and Fox News host has never been one to hold back, and SNL has consistently kept the same energy toward her. The update desk becomes a splash zone as Cecily Strong's Pirro sloshes, shouts, and blames a suspension on conspirators rather than her own words. The shade is relentless but precise, featuring cadences that turn legalese into barroom monologue, grievance dressed as patriotism, and victimhood performed at full blast.
So by ignoring the subpoenas, and I'm going to hold your arm for this part, by ignoring the subpoenas, Trump might actually give Democrats more reason to impeach.
It skewers a media style built on volume over substance, and the gag builds to literal spillage, converting rhetorical excess into physical comedy at Colin Jost's expense. Strong later revived the character in 2025, reminding viewers why the bit works. The showboating is the point.
Look at this. This is Janine has brought her files and she's ready to work.
Oh, no, it's a cozy for my Merlotzy.
See, she always comes prepared. And that rhymed. I like that.
Thank you. Wowee! Sweet justice.
Number 12. 106 in Park. Top 10 Live.
And the Kids' Choice Award for Best TV Show is Drake and Josh.
Hell no. Oh, heck. Yo, no disrespect, fam. Like, I haven't seen your show. I don't even watch Nickelodeon. But how the hell they not gonna get a Kids' Choice Awards to Kanye West?
2 years before his infamous Taylor Swift VMA interruption, SNL staged Kanye as a serial award show crasher on BET's 106 in Park. The bit is almost prophetic. Kenan Thompson and Maya Rudolph's hosts tee up a montage of Kanye barging into increasingly absurd ceremonies to declare the real winner.
It is my distinct honor to present the Nobel Prize for Physics to John C. Mather and George F. Smoot for the discoveries in the cosmic microwave background radiation.
Oh, hell no! Man, this is ridiculous, fam! How the Nobel Peace Prize for Physics gonna go to anybody but me? That's ridiculous. My album went gold in a day, fam.
Shade isn't just thrown at Kanye's ego. It's at the martyr complex that frames self-promotion as a moral crusade. With Kanye in on the joke, he laughed with the show until life imitated art. When West permanently altered the trajectory of his career in 2009, this sketch played like a cautionary tale. Nobody heeded.
Then can you explain this?
Man, I ain't gonna have me on Saturday Night Live, man. I ain't no host, man. Seriously, man. I ain't gonna have LeBron James over me, man. I'm 10 times the performer, man. I don't care if he got more money. Man, give a black man, give a short black man a chance, man. Tell him what I said, man.
Number 11, Kathie Lee Gifford and Today.
I finally saw Avatar last night at a hot date with Frank.
Oh, okay. Your husband, Frank Gifford.
Oh, no, not that Frank. I am talking about the other Frank in my life, Franzia Dax Owen.
Daytime TV's loudest brunch hour meets SNL's sharpest knives. The Gifford Hoda send-ups torch wine o'clock banter, chaotic interviews, and the forced intimacy of morning infotainment. It's all in the cadence. Over bright, over familiar, underprepared.
What do you got, Sarah?
Okay, let's see. Connie from Hartford, Connecticut says, Kathie Lee, leave Hoda alone, you'll drunk.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Why would I leave her alone? What am I, every guy?
Sketch after sketch, the show mimics a format that sells relatability while smothering substance, exposing how easily sincerity becomes shtick. What keeps it from being pure meanness is the accuracy. You've seen these segments. Of course, praise must be heaped upon Kristen Wiig's boozy Gifford impression. The parodies simply turn the dial from 7 to 10, and the smiles from warm to predatory. It's friendly TV as a jump scare.
Just call security and tell them a crazy person is loose in the studio, please.
Hola, your boyfriend's here.
Help you get laid, I will.
Number 10, Chevy Chase and President Ford.
I know a fellow who is going to enter the New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Florida, and every other primary. And I know he is going to win. And if he has any other competition, right up to the end of 1976. Thank you. Hey. Uh-oh. No problem. No problem.
Unlike later SNL depictions of U.S. presidents, Chevy Chase didn't do a voice. In fact, he didn't do anything to approximate Gerald Ford at all. He didn't need policy jokes. He just fell down, hard, often, and with commitment, until the pratfall became a president. That's shade at its purest. A single idea, so sticky it rewires public memory.
And if I don't win, I will continue to run in the primaries, even if there are none.
The repetition reads as contempt. Ford isn't unlucky. Ford is, simply put, a clumsy dope. Decades later, the caricature still trails the late president who died in 2006. Chase's quote-unquote impression is proof that SNL can brand a politician with one recurring visual.
Hello. Hello. Hello, Nesson. I can't hear you. What are you, in the pool? I guess the other phone's ringing. I don't know. All right.
Number 9. President Bill Clinton at McDonald's.
All right, boys. Let's stop in here for a second. I'm a little parched from the jog.
Sir, we've only been jogging for 3 blocks. Besides, Mrs. Clinton asked us not to let you into any more fast food places.
Well, I just want to mingle with the American people, talk with some real folks, maybe get a Diet Coke or something.
Phil Hartman's Clinton, playing on the president's public image prior to his massive late 90s scandals, charms voters while stealing their fries. Policy as drive-through, boundaryless appetite as governing style. The walk and talk structure lets Hartman play 2 things at once: folksy appeal and shameless gluttony.
Governor Clinton, I'm a sophomore in college, and I may have to drop out because my parents can't afford the tuition.
Speak of the devil, that's one of those McLean sandwiches, isn't it?
Yeah, would you like to try it?
Well, maybe just a bite. That's not bad.
Here, the object of SNL's ridicule is tactile. Crinkled wrappers, greasy fingers, and a candidate who literally won't stop eating. It's not a screed about ethics, it's a demonstration of impulses. How desire leaks into everything. In 5 minutes, the sketch captures the paradox of Clinton's political appeal and personal excess better than most biographies. It's funny, then faintly gross, then weirdly definitive.
Now, with the broad-based international military force, we can make sure that this McRib sandwich gets to the people who need it. See? Can I get a Coke?
Number 8. Church Chat. Jim and Tammy Faye Baker.
As you all know, our world of television ministries has been rocked by scandal. Who are these people? Responsible Christian broadcasters or greedy media sluts? You be the judge.
As we all know by now, the church lady is sanctimony incarnate, and the televangelist scandals were her natural prey. The sketch skewers hypocrisy with a sugar-sweet smile, turning piety into performance art and repentance into a PR strategy. Tammy Faye's streaked mascara and Jim's contrition become props for a character who thrives on moral superiority.
While Jimmy was there, out there drugging and Jesse and reaffirming his manhood, what exactly were you doing?
Well, you know, church lady, those nights just sort of blur together, don't they, honey? But you know, Jim would go out every night during Crosswits, and that's when I got addicted to all manner of flu pills, and I hallucinated cats out of the ceiling. I did, didn't I, honey?
The shade is theological and theatrical. Sin treated as spectacle. Forgiveness as optics. Dana Carvey's sing-song, "Well, isn't that special?" is less a catchphrase than a condemnation, a comedic authority convicting an entire movement of showy righteousness.
Now, let's think. Who would have jammed that bun cake ring down over your head, Tammy? Who was it? Who could it possibly be? Was it, oh, I don't know. Satan?
Yes, it was.
Oh, really? Well, isn't that extra special?
Number 7. Weekend Update. Pete Davidson roasts GOP politicians.
This guy's fun. Rick Scott from Florida. He looks like someone tried to whittle Bruce Willis out of a penis. Here's a New York guy, Peter King. I actually don't know a lot about him, except he looks like if a cigar came to life.
Davidson's update persona is studied nonchalance hiding razor wire. His infamous shot at then-candidate Dan Crenshaw lit up the news cycle, prompting a rare on-air reconciliation the following week.
You may be surprised to hear he's a congressional candidate from Texas and not a hitman in a porno movie. I'm sorry, I know he lost his eye in war or whatever.
The segment is casual but lethal, tossed off lines that question character and motive rather than just policy. The controversy also underlined SNL's modern calculus, viral risk tolerated for cultural reach. Then clean up in the second act.
Lieutenant Commander Dave Crenshaw, everyone, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for making a Republican look good.
You gotta stop saying that, man. You've been saying it all day. Please.
The follow-up bits, bringing Crenshaw on to trade jokes, didn't erase the sting. It simply reframed it as must-see TV. Davidson later publicly recanted his apology to Crenshaw, claiming that he had been pressured into it. As such, the edge and the lesson remain.
So we good?
We're good. Apology accepted.
Just keep breathing.
It sounds like my phone's ringing.
You gonna answer that?
No, and I was just gonna let it ring because that's rude to answer. Let's just let it go to voicemail.
No, it's cool. Ariana Grande's well, cool, man. Yeah.
Oh, do you know her?
Number 6. Mike Myers tears Elon Musk a new one.
We love your outfit. Very official and respectful. And I love when he gets that chainsaw right next to my head.
Thanks. Donald, what are you doing in my office? You know I'm the president now, right? I'm kidding. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not.
Out of nowhere, and then again and again. Canadian comedy legend and Wayne's World star Mike Myers returned to SNL to play Elon Musk as a self-amused chaos engine, specifically in the wake of Musk's tenure at the Department of Government Efficiency.
Legalize comedy! Come on! Legalize it!
I'm so comfortable with all of that. I really enjoy everything you're doing with Doge, Elon.
Well, they're saying I'm firing people with no cause. But I do have cause. It's cause I feel like it. Come on!
That was complete with chainsaw props, awkward mannerisms, and shameless Dr. Evil echoes. The impression doesn't bother flattering genius. It mocks the brand of genius, from cheese hat stunts to self-vandalizing Teslas. In multiple cold opens, Myers-Musk hijacks scenes to sell nonsense solutions and bask in attention, a parody of disruption that treats incompetence as innovation. The shade works because it's overqualified. A titan of SNL sketchcraft, dissecting a titan of tech hype, and enjoying every slice.
Phase 1 of my plan is complete. Ingratiate yourself to the president and take over the media. But was taking this job a bad idea? A lot of people seem to really hate me. My Tesla stock is crashing and my personal net worth just dropped by $100 billion.
Number 5. Frank Sinatra and Stevie Wonder duet.
Stevie Wonder, you are aptly named. Like I said many times, you are truly a wonder.
Thanks a lot, Frank.
Let me ask you something. Do you do your own hair?
No, I don't.
Then you got no excuse.
Joe Piscopo's volcanic Sinatra and Eddie Murphy's coolly exasperated Stevie Wonder turn Ebony and Ivory into a culture war. Sinatra's brassy insults and oblivious entitlement crash into Wonder's restrained dignity. The laughs come from the friction and from how dated Sinatra's swagger suddenly feels.
Stevie, now something tells me that this is more than a song about playing the piano.
Frank, it's about racial equality and unity of all people.
Well, I don't understand. When I think Ebony, I think of a magazine that most people do not buy.
It's not subtle. Barb decides about style, status, and whose music really matters. The shade lands as a generational verdict. Old school masculinity, swing dancing on a rug that's already been pulled up. Uncomfortable at times, deliberately so. The sketch is a living argument about respect dressed up as a duet.
I am dark and you are light.
You are blind as a bat, and I have sight. Side by side, you are my amigo. Negro, let's not fight.
Number 4. Sean Spicer press conference.
Now I'd like to begin today by apologizing on behalf of you to me for how you have treated me these last 2 weeks. And that apology is not accepted. Because I'm not here to be your buddy. I'm here to swallow gum, and I'm here to take nade.
Oscar nominee Melissa McCarthy's take on the brief tenure of the former White House press secretary is pure kinetic contempt. Gum like gavel, podium as battering ram, facts as chew toys. The sketch converts a political briefing into slapstick authoritarianism, mocking both the temper and the shamelessness of spin.
As you know, President Trump announced his Supreme Court pick on the national TV. Today, when he entered the room, the crowd greeted him with a standing ovation, which lasted a full 15 minutes. And you can check the tape on that. Everyone was smiling. Everyone was happy.
What makes it devastating is how literal and absurd it feels. The prop podium simply acts out what the words are doing, running people over. The performance reportedly rattled the real Spicer and delighted an audience hungry to see power humble. It also set a modern template. When press briefings become theater, the rebuttal will be louder theater.
Does anybody else have any questions?
Yeah, a Wall Street Journal. Are you okay?
Come here. Put you in the corner with CNN.
We're not fake news!
Number 3. Sarah Palin and Hillary Clinton cold open.
Good evening. My my fellow Americans. I was so excited when I was told Senator Clinton and I would be addressing you tonight.
And I was told I would be addressing you alone.
In one of the storied sketch show's most iconic moments, Tina Fey and Amy Poehler deliver a two-front roast that stuck to both targets. Fey's Palin is blithe confidence without depth. Poehler's Hillary is competence curdled into clenched ambition.
You know, Hillary and I don't agree on everything.
I believe that diplomacy should be the cornerstone of any foreign policy.
And I can see Russia from my house.
The script plays like a split-screen verdict on political branding. Unearned charisma versus earned resentment.
I don't agree with the Bush doctrine.
I don't know what
But Sarah, one thing we can agree on is that sexism can never be allowed to permeate an American election.
So please, stop photoshopping my head on sexy bikini pictures.
The sketch itself mattered because it traveled. Lines and attitudes bled into mainstream coverage and public memory, overshadowing the real Palin interviews that inspired it. Fey's Palin remains possibly SNL's best-known and most beloved political impression, owing in no small part to its healthy heaping of shade.
While our politics may differ, my friend and I are both very tough ladies. You know, it reminds me of a joke we tell in Alaska.
Oh, boy.
What's the difference
Lipstick.
between a hockey mom
Lipstick.
and a pit bull?
Lipstick.
Lipstick.
There you go.
Number 2. Any sketch with Alec Baldwin as President Trump.
Good evening, America. I am going to be so good tonight. I am going to be so calm and so presidential that all of you watching are going to cream your jeans.
This wasn't a cameo, it was a siege. Baldwin's take on Donald Trump. Sniffly, pouty, and self-enchanted turned weekly politics into a running farce. The impression routinely popped up on the news cycle, to the point where a Dominican newspaper once ran a Baldwin photo as if it were the real president. Trump's public fury and well-documented distaste for the Emmy winner's impression only amplified the bit's reach.
Hey, jazz man, I've got a very presidential answer for this. Our jobs are fleeing this country. They're going to Mexico. They're going to China. I will stop that. If Hillary knew how, she would have done it already, period. End of story. I won the debate. I stayed calm.
Love or hate the portrayal, it took up space in the public square and refused to leave, a form of shade that became canonized. The key to the gag's long-running shelf life is its unsparing judgment, a presidency reduced to caricature.
What a nice question. Thank you, Hoda. And can I just say you're really doing a great job.
Wow, it is creepier when you're nice, but thank you.
No, really, you're taking really good care of us tonight. Now, could you just tell us about the specials, please?
Oh, no. Mr. Trump, I'm the moderator, not your waitress.
Oh, okay, then just some waters then, okay? This is
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Norm MacDonald versus O.J. Simpson and NBC.
Thanks, I'm Norm MacDonald, and now the fake news. Well, it is finally official. Murder is legal in the state of California.
No euphemisms, no hedging. On Update, Norm simply decided O.J. did it. Then he wrote jokes like he believed the audience deserved honesty. The relentlessness became the bit, and the bit became legend. It also cost him greatly. NBC executive Don Ohlmeyer, a friend of the disgraced athlete and media personality, removed him from Update mid-season, reportedly as a form of retribution. That's shade as a moral stance, risking your job to keep the joke brutally on message.
In a brilliant move during closing arguments, Simpson attorney Johnny Cochran put on the knit cap prosecutors say O.J. wore the night he committed the murders. Although O.J. may have hurt his case when he suddenly blurted out, "Hey, easy with that. That's my lucky stabbing hat."
In hindsight, it reads less as cruelty than clarity, which is why those deadpan punchlines still circulate every time the case resurfaces. MacDonald's comedy aged into eerily prescient public record.
In his book, O.J. Simpson says that he would have taken a bullet or stood in front of a train for Nicole. Man, I'm going to tell you, that is some bad luck when the one guy who would have died for you kills you. That's probably... You don't get worse luck than that.
Did we miss any of SNL's shadiest moments? Be sure to tell us in the comments below, because who knows? Your suggestion could be featured in a future video.